There we are, Sheena. A very, very warm welcome to you. And thank you. Thank you so much on behalf of Shelley and all the rest of the team for joining me today to tell your story your way. I'm very, very excited about this, Sheena, but I'm going to hand over to you straight away, ask you to introduce yourself, tell us a wee bit about yourself, your family, and maybe your work life as well, please. Thank you.
No problem. Hi, Leslie and everyone. I am Sheena and I'm 37, live on the east coast of Scotland. I'm a mum of two nearly primary age children. My youngest is coming up to 5 and my wee boy is P3, he's 7. And I have a new husband who I got married to in the summer this year, but we've been together nearly 12 years. So a new husband, but yeah, been a part of my life for a long time. My background is as a primary teacher, but I'm currently on secondment, working for my council in a development role, and I'm really, really loving it. Yeah, it's given me lots of new opportunities, and it's really nice to be exploring a part of education that I really am passionate about. And I also did my forest school leader training this year, and that's something I have wanted to do ever since I got into teaching. So yeah, that was a really great experience to be part of, and feel really chuffed that I have managed to get through that training this year as well.
Oh, Sheena, that just sounds amazing. Absolutely fantastic. And as you're sitting there talking, I'm looking at your clock. Oh my goodness. How amazing is that? A picture clock? Is that what you call it?
Yep, it is. It is. Yep, photo frames all the way around. I've put it up in about 3 or 4 different homes now, and it is always a bit of a mission trying to get the pins in the right place. But I do love the effect of it when it's up.
Oh, it's stunning. It's really, really eye-catching. Yeah, absolutely love that. Sheena, thank you again for joining me. I was very fortunate to get a wee hug from you at our Christmas party at the Mummies on the other week. And you are this tiny wee petite lassie, but so full of energy and you just glow. And to hear your story and your opportunity to share it with others, I'm really, really excited about. Because Sheena, you haven't been with Shelley for very long. And you've come into her programs in a slightly different angle to, I'll say, most people that I've interviewed. And you came in through the Mindset Mastery program that Shelley did a few months ago. And then you continued into Feel It Be and lifestyle from there. I'm really interested to know, first of all, how you found out about Shelley and why did you take the journey from mindset into Feel It Be rather than others who tend to come in through Feel It Be? If you could mind explaining, thank you.
So I've been aware of Shelley and Feel It Be and what she offers for 3 years now through my very dear best friend who has been part of the programs, and she joined Feel It Be 3 years ago now. And I'm not going to lie that when she first joined, I was a little unsure. I'd never heard of the program before, and all of a sudden my best pal wasn't having a biscuit with her coffee anymore, and she brought around this incredibly green thick looking soup for her lunch, and she'd stopped kind of eating the things that we usually did. And she also was not keen to have a glass of wine or prosecco with me as often as she used to be, because she'd started this program. And so I had a few questions about it because I didn't really fully understand it. But I know that she went into it, I think, as a lot of people do. She wanted to lose weight, improve her health, and I was supportive of that, and very much wanted her to succeed in that. And
Can I just interrupt? Because having that supportive friend is part of this program, because if you don't have that support by your side, it does make it hard. So thank you for being that friend, because it makes all the difference to us all. So thank you, Sheena.
I think you're right, because I think for some reason with any of these kind of programs, there's always people who are less than supportive about it. I think particularly when you start making quite big changes to how you've been living your life. So I did have inner ones, and I did express some of my kind of concerns with her, but I didn't. The worries quite quickly eased away, because I saw how much she got from it really quite quickly. She lost weight really quickly, and then, you know, that made changes within herself. But over the months and now years, I've seen so much more than just weight loss. And I think my best friend is wonderful, but she's just got more wonderful because she's worked on her mindset, and she's got this incredibly supportive community that, you know, she talks about. When she first started talking about Shelley, it was like she was talking about this celebrity. And because Shelley's quite local to us, I was a bit kind of confused by this, but I do understand the Shelley factor a lot more now. And so, yeah, my friends introduced me to it, and over the years has shared nuggets of information. And it's definitely been the mindset side of things that really appealed to me. I suppose I didn't think I needed to go into a weight loss program, so didn't think it was for me, but the mindset side of stuff really appealed to me. I've known about mindset from being a teacher for a number of years, but that doesn't mean I've ever really made a conscious effort to work on it for myself. Yes. So then Shelley announced she was doing this mindset program over the summer, and my friend nervously suggested it to me. And I say nervously because I was going through a lot in the summer. I'd lost my dad just after I got married, and I was in quite a fragile place. So she wasn't sure whether suggesting it was the right or the wrong thing to do.
Can I just stop you there, Sheena?
Yes.
And first of all, I just want to say, I'm so sorry about your dad's loss. I want to also say congratulations on your wedding. But I also want to say a huge, huge thank you to your friend, because what she has done, she has kept you by her side. And although unknown to you, this little nuggets of information that she has constantly fed you over the years has brought you to be in the right place at the right time. And that's why I believe the Mindset Mastery program was brought to you when you actually needed it. As well. Absolutely. Sorry, I'll let you continue.
No,
I'm
not
sorry
at all.
for interrupting, but I have to say
No,
some things.
I certainly don't live my life by fate, but there's been things that have happened throughout my life that I do go, oh, that was meant to happen at that moment and things. So, yeah, I decided to sign up for it at a time where I did feel particularly fragile, and I'm glad I did. I'm so glad I did, because it gave me something to focus on, and something to focus on for me, something to feel like I was taking a bit of control of something in my life when things felt a bit out of control in lots of ways. So Mindset Mastery was intense. It was, you know, just shy of 2 weeks of nightly lives and homework and things, but, you know, so much in that short space of time. And by no means do I feel like I'm a master of mindset, but it gave me some tools and approaches to immediately kind of start working on. And then I suppose maybe I was a bit like, I didn't quite feel like I wanted to stop kind of getting the learning from Shelley, and I decided to sign up to her next Feel It Be program, which was starting just a few weeks later. I've not had the best stomach health over the last few years, and I really wanted to try and see if trying the Feel It Be approach to eating would improve my stomach health. I know that Shelley's very much about protect the liver and feed the gut, and yeah, and so went into that quite quickly afterwards. And my husband joined on board, which surprised me, but I'm so glad he did. It certainly has made it a
That's fantastic. So you're 4 months into your marriage, and you've got your husband right round about there eating the same as you. And I guess he's learning alongside you as well, as in, why are we eating this tonight, Sheena? And you can explain, you know, why we're removing the bad carbs and all those sort of things as well.
He's not been as good as, I mean, a few times I've said, oh, I'm not going to be able to explain this well, like watch this video from Shelley. And he's not been as good at like that side of things. He's kind of going, well, I'll take your word for it that this is what we do. But he's got a very sweet tooth, and he's reduced his sugar intake, certainly not removed it, but reduced
Well,
it.
fantastic. And that's what it's all about. It's little steps, but they're in the right direction. And as you start to see the improvements, you just then want to start doing more and more. I'm really interested because, like you say, it's not about weight loss for you. It's about health. It's about that
Yeah.
gut health in particular. Can I ask, after being on Feel It Be for that 6 weeks, did you notice a difference in your gut health?
Yeah, definitely I did. So, I mean, it was a big shift because up until starting Feel It Be, I had been following a mainly kind of pescatarian diet for a few years. Not that I have you know, mainly for kind of environmental and kind of animal welfare reasons. So it's not that I have a real issue with eating meat, but I kind of took a step back from eating meat for those reasons. But I decided that if I was going to do Feel It Be, I had to give it a full go. And you know, and initially that's what I said, well, I want to see how my stomach reacts to this and then go. And so I think in the early stages, my stomach probably was a little bit like, well, what are you doing? For one, removing bad carbs, removing sugar, you know, artificial sugar. And then I was also putting all of this meat that I hadn't been used to. So first week wasn't easy, withdrawals, which Shelley goes really into, but I can absolutely see why they can put people off, because it was tough for a few days for sure. But yeah, moving past that, I am kind of a full-blown carnivore again. Yeah, my bubbly stomach, as I've called it, has certainly improved. I did try the other week. I'm not a huge fan of mince, and I tried the other week to make my lentil bolognese that I used to make a lot of, and I really enjoyed it. But the next morning, my stomach didn't feel great, and I think that eating as many kind of lentils and pulses and like legumes that I was over the years was probably not helping my stomach. And I think I was also probably in my pescatarian diet a little protein deficient, because I didn't eat massive amount of eggs, only fish kind of once or twice a week. I was having beans and pulses, but yeah, I've certainly increased my protein uptake, and I think that that's been beneficial.
That's great. That's really interesting to hear, Sheena, because we do go through this transition period, and it is a withdrawal at that start of Feel It Be. We're detoxing our bodies, you know, we're flushing out all those toxins and sugars, all those other nasties that we've been eating, and it's nobody's fault. It's just the way that we've been led to believe is the way that we eat. However, I'm really interested to hear that about your style of diet as well, because a lot of vegetarians come onto our program, and yes, okay, we don't work a vegetarian style diet here, because we do involve our meats and our proteins. So there are adjustments that vegetarians can make to our meal plans if they do so wish. However, we don't go down the lentils or the beans or the pulses route, purely for the detrimental effect that they have on our gut. And there's a lot of research into it, and the effects that these diets can have.
Yeah, and
That's
you
really
know,
interesting to hear,
yeah.
when you're talking about your bubbly tummy, and things like that, to how that can then calm down and start to settle in itself. But it does take time. It's not a quick fix.
Yeah, and yeah,
You know,
I'm only a
it's
few months in, so but
months later.
yeah,
Yeah.
enough that I definitely am going to stick with it. I do, you know, so it is a little bit of my environmental kind of
Yes.
mind would like to reduce, or you know, not eat nearly as much meat, but at the moment recognizing that my body is benefiting from it. So I think kind of going forward, I'm going to look to see if I can make some of those kind of protein, so it's not back to the lentils and things,
Yes.
but more eggs, more kind of cheese like halloumi and things like that,
Absolutely.
where I can, and up the veggies. But yeah, at the moment the meal plans are working for me, and I'm enjoying the structure that they kind of give me. So yeah, I'm sticking to them for now anyway.
That's fantastic. And I will just say, it's something that I've listened to Shelley talk about for many, many years. She's a huge animal lover.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is this catch-22 situation that we're in, which is why another reason that we go down the organic route, because the way that Shelley brings it to us, if we are going to eat animal and animal products, let's make sure they've had a good life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So by going down the organic route, we know that they've been fed and watered and looked after as good as they possibly can be to then end up in our food chain. So another fantastic reason for going organic, not just for the other elements such as the chemicals that most of our farmed animals are pumped full of before they get onto our supermarket shelves. So moving on from the meal plans in your bubbly tummy, tell me what other things that you have enjoyed and feel it be. We have our workouts and our education, all those other sort of things that Shelley brings to us. How have they been for yourself, Sheena?
The education side has been fantastic, and particularly, in that 6 weeks of Feel It Be, was getting so much of it, and yeah, I can't believe how much I learned about functions of the body, about food, and how your body reacts to them. And while I've gained kind of bits of information over the years from my friend, there's nothing quite like hearing it from the horse's mouth. And really, I'm not calling you a horse, but it's hearing it directly from Shelley. She explains it really well and clearly, and
It's
that's
the way that she brings it to you, though. I mean, education, okay, you work in education, but it can be a bit mind-blowing sometimes, and especially when technical words and terms are used, and I just start sort of switching off when it's that sort of thing. But when Shelley brings it to you, it's just like you're sitting there having a cup of tea, and she is just speaking to you layman terms, and you can listen to her for hours because she makes her education fun, and you get a laugh along the way as well. And she just makes it so easy, doesn't she?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. A lot to take in, and I could definitely probably do with going back and
Yeah.
revisiting the things. But because I've continued on and I'm in lifestyle, I can go back and revisit them, which is great. And I love the workouts. They are definitely uh, challenging me and making me use muscle groups and things that I hadn't really ever focused on. I
Were you
don't
fit before, Sheena, before you came?
reasonably kind of count down. I mean, I planned my wedding in 3 months, so I
Wow.
didn't have a long time
Wow.
to
Don't you?
but and I didn't go into a kind of crazy, I want to change my body for the wedding, but there's always a little bit of realization of how many photos are going to be taken of you and things. So I'd tried to get back into a bit of running, once, twice a week, and I don't really feel like my lifestyle has much room for getting to the gym at the moment. So I was doing workout videos at home, but it was pretty much the same one that I was doing on repeat. And it was fine. It was half an hour, which I could fit into my day, and I could fit it in, around my partner's shifts and the kids and things. But it was a bit boring, I have to say, and not necessarily hugely motivational. So I'm loving the variety of workouts. I've never really been very keen on using weights, but I've got myself some weights now, and I'm enjoying using them. I'm enjoying seeing these very skinny kind of unshaped arms actually producing little little
It is amazing, isn't it? To actually watch your body begin to transform within just a matter of weeks.
Yeah.
And sorry, I'm totally butting in again, but it just excites me so much when I hear and see women building themselves up. And I don't mean that as in building big muscles, but you're creating your new self. And having confidence to do that. But Sheena, you jump on the Zooms in the morning with this other group of women. So you're not on your own. Okay, you're working out on your own in the living room, but you know that everybody else is there. We get a wee blether beforehand, and it's that community. When we're all together, a quick blether beforehand, a quick peck with each other at the end, before we then head off and get on with our day. And that's something, particularly for a young mum like yourself, you've got two young kids there juggling work and family, but you can do all of that in your own home before they're even up and out of bed. And it just makes you feel so bloody good, doesn't it?
It does. I'm still working on, I kind of was doing a lot better at the kind of early rises. It's still a bit of a work in progress with me, and having got over a cold, I kind of got out of the habit again. So yeah, I mean, I think I got up about 8 minutes before joining you ladies this morning. So I need to get
Oh
on,
dear.
get better at it. But the length of the workouts are really suit me. I just feel like I don't have time for an hour's workout. So I love the length and the variety of the workouts, and it's really nice to be getting back into some yoga, which is something I did pre-kids at uni and when I was living in Edinburgh, but have kind of really not been part of my life for a number of years. So I'm enjoying getting back into that. I really like the workouts, but I do try and get a yoga in at least once a week, and yeah, it does me good.
It's
So
fantastic because here on Feel It Being Lifestyle, we have our beautiful yogi Selena, and she gives us these beautiful sessions every week that we can play and watch and work alongside at any time that suits ourselves. So whether it be the kids are still in their bed or they're off to bed, or if that it's school or playgroup, and you can grab that half hour just for yourself to just take time, breathe, stretch, and enjoy those beautiful yoga sessions. And we've got Pilates that joined in, that Shelley brought to her lifestyle last month, maybe the month before. And again, it's just another direction that we can take ourselves. So much variety there for us all to enjoy. No matter what you're doing, everybody can find that half hour in a day to do one of these amazing sessions that we've got. So it's so exciting there as well.
the live workouts are also yes, very motivational, the ones you do with Shelley. There's yeah, she doesn't take it easy on you, and you're not doing properly, as I was at one point this week. She does pick you out, and but it's good to have that yeah, the motivation to work harder, for sure. I think it's the workout you probably put the most effort into in the week.
It definitely is. And I always think I'm so glad that the mute button is on, because I don't think Shelley would like to hear half the language that gets thrown back at her when she picks you out of a workout for doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And I can say that for many years too. That's sure. Sheena, is there anything else that you would like to discuss? I mean, I know that you joined Lifestyle just last month, I think, if my time is right. But I know in such a short time you will have gotten a good feel for the community of women that we have on the programs. There's ladies that joined the same time as you, but there's also ones that have been there for many years. I'd be interested to hear from, I'll call you a newbie,
Yeah.
coming into Lifestyle, and how you find the community that we have here.
It feels a little bit at first, I was worried, I suppose, about kind of how I enter into a very kind of well-formed community, I suppose. You definitely get the feeling that there's real connections and friendships in this group. But I have really felt very welcomed, and posts that I do share, you know, people are always reacting to and commenting on. And I think the best feeling I got for the real community was the other weekend when we were at the Christmas party night. And it was, yeah, I felt a little bit apprehensive because I didn't feel, other than my obviously really good friends who I was going to know there, one or two ladies, but it was so lovely actually being a little bit of you know, standing back and seeing this lovely community of women come together, and some of them only knew each other online, but when they saw each other, you know, so much emotion, so much joy. Somebody's described it as a big hug party, and that's what it was like. Thank goodness we're not in COVID times anymore, because it was really lovely. And I also saw, which didn't surprise me at all, but my best friend being loved by so many people, because she is a special soul, and she was shining bright that night. So it was really lovely to meet people, and it has then meant that when I joined the Zooms now in the morning, that I'm like, the faces mean more to me now, because
yes, I get
profile
that.
pictures aren't always, don't look the same and stuff. So yeah, it was really nice to get a chance to meet people in person. But there is a real sense of community, and I think being so new, I'm still kind of, gradually building up the relationships and things. But there's no question that I've been made to feel very welcome, and that the kind of sense of community is very strong, definitely.
Oh, Sheena, thank you for saying that. But you are also part of that community. So it doesn't matter how long you've been there, as soon as you put your foot in the door and a little introduction to everybody of who you are on the page, and that's it. Before you know it, you're just taken on board. And as I say, it doesn't matter if those are friendships that have been there for years or not. We are all there for each other, and I see it and I feel it all the time on the pages. And I remember my first ever hug party 3 years ago. We'd all only known each other online. So to then actually, just like you described there, to actually see someone in real life, um, I would like to say, not just to hug, but to sniff them too, because it's all part of when you see someone and you can hear them, but when you get all the senses together, it is just truly, truly amazing. And definitely friendships for life. But I also just need to put a wee shout out to your friend there that we're talking of as well, because she's a dear friend to me too. And she means a hell of a lot to so many of us on the programme. And that is exactly what this is all about. We look after ourselves with what we're eating and what we're learning and when we're moving, but when we've also got others looking after us as well. And that ripple effect, because it just moves on and on. And that is what you have done here today, Sheena. By sitting here and having this chat to me, you are letting other people see what it could be like for them if they wanted to come on board and join, whether it be the mindset, the feel it be, or move on into lifestyle as well. So Sheena, a huge, huge thank you for spending your time with me today. And it's not taken lightly at all, because I know it's not the easiest to sit in front of these cameras and try and not swear or anything like that. I know that very well. But before we go, Sheena, I would just like to ask you, do you have 5 words that you would like to use to describe Shelley, Feel It Be, and everything else that comes with it, please?
Yeah, I've seen a few of these interviews, and I know it's when you put on the spot to try and summarize something that feels very big into a few words, it's hard. But it's transformational in many ways, and I mean, so many women share their kind of before and after and their journey pictures, and there's no question that the program can be really transformational physically, but also I had a lovely chat with somebody at the party night about her mindset journey and just how she is in such a kind of stronger place within herself than she's ever been before. So transformational and empowering, definitely. I feel it like with the exercise, strength that you kind of gain physically and mentally. It's definitely educational. I've learned so much through the education videos. It's supportive because there is such a sense of community, and I also think it's very inclusive. Everybody is very welcome, and that's really apparent. So they're my 5 words.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sheena. Thank you very much. I'm going to add those words to my list. I don't know if MD knows, but I'm actually creating this list since I've started doing these interviews of all the different words that Shelley's clients use to describe her and her programs. So it's going to end up massive. Just
Sure, you'll
absolutely
have of those ones already on there, but just in case.
fantastic. Sheena, I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of your evening, and I can only but thank you once more for joining me on camera today.
No problem. Thank you so much.
I will see you on Zoom tomorrow morning.
Bye.
Okay, thank you, Sheena. It's lovely to see you. Bye bye, lass. Bye bye.